Welcome to my top 10 most anticipated and noteworthy comics for March 20th, 2024. Guys, I'm Mike Spider Slayer. Welcome back to Comic Book Corner 2.0. It's never too early to start that pull list for next week, and hopefully this list does help you make decisions on what comic books to buy. Before we dive into it, guys, I just gotta give a quick shout out to Whatnot. If you have not used Whatnot yet, there is a link in my description box below. It's absolutely for free. Click on the link. When you create your profile and you win your first auction on Whatnot, you're going to get a $15 credit. So whether you're a collector of comics or any other thing on Whatnot, right? Just go ahead, use that link, get $15 for yourself, and call it a day. So here is the hot seat book for the week, and that goes to Thrasher, issue 2. The New Warriors leader has his own independent series, and issue 1 was a little bit generic in my eyes. You know, it's a typical guy who's been away for a long time, and he had his business, which was a little bit corrupt because his family was corrupt. He wants to close it down, and it wasn't all that great, but it wasn't all that bad either. And I kind of want to see where it goes, but if it doesn't continue to get better, I can see this book being a book that I will truly drop. This is 28 pages, and this is $4. Here's a book that's on the rise. Titans. We're on issue 9. So when it came to the original issues of Titans, I was like, oh my god, this is bad. But this has been coming off the heels of a Beast World, and there's definitely some ramifications going on. There's all kinds of stuff going on with Amanda Waller. We get to see Beast Boy kind of dealing with some situation that people don't believe that he's a hero, that he's, a villain and causes more harm than good. And we get to see a situation going on with Raven in here as well, as her being an evil side of herself. Not that that's been done before, but there's actually ramifications from an event that happened in a universe, unlike Gang War, where there's nothing that changed, right? So this one's 32 pages, and this one is $4. Here we go, kicking off the top 10. We got Web of Spider-Man. It's back, issue 1. I don't know if this is the only Web of Spider-Man book that's out there, but this is a book that is really, I guess, a previews book. I think it's a glorified preview book. People are going to buy it because of that great cover art by Greg Capullo. But this is going to lay down some of the story threads of what's going on throughout 2024 and the beginning of 2025. So this is something that you're going to want to check out. I'm sure there'll be little teasers and things like that. I'll check it out. It's a little expensive, but it is 56 pages. It's $8 though. Coming in at number 9, we got the continuation of G.I. Joe, the Real American Hero. So in the last issue, we've gotten to see Dawn Marino as she's been fighting some Vipers. We've got to see Serpentor and Dr. Mindbender create their army to go after Cobra Commander. The artwork is absolutely fine in this comic. I don't think this is a book that's really for new reader friendly, because this kind of continues off of what was been going on, I think, in an IDW series. I'm a G.I. Joe fan because, I'm an 80s kid, so yeah, there's that on top of it. So it's 32 pages. This one's $4. Moving on to number 8, we have a series finale from Jeff Lemire. This is The Tenement, guys. I've been talking about this book ever since it's come out. The artwork is done by Andrea Sorrentino. It's about 7 people that have lived in this apartment building. They've all come together. They've been brought to this hell. They've been led to the very first floor, which I guess is maybe true hell itself. It's just weird, man. It's a weird book. I can't even begin to explain it. If you read it, though, whether you're reading the end of it or you're going to read it when it comes out in trade, I think you'll like it. It's pretty dark. This is, of course, if you love horror books. This is 32 pages, and this is $4. Moving on to number 7 is a book that's definitely impressed me and has surprised me at the same time. This is Spider-Boy. This is issue 5. So we get to see a little bit of an origin story going on with Bailey Briggs on where he's come from. We got introduced to Boy Spider, which is a polar opposite of Spider-Boy in the last issue, and it looks like he's going to be going against the character by the name of Helivino, and he is a character that's mixed between a human and an elephant, and it used to be his best friend, if I remember correctly. So I love where they're going with this character, giving him some depth, unlike some other characters that we've seen in the past. And it shows me that, you know, another Spider character is not necessarily always a bad thing in the Marvel Universe, as long as they're written right and they have a solid story. This one is 28 pages, and this one is $5. Moving on to number 6. We have Vengeance of Moonlight. This is issue 3. I loved issues 1 and 2. I think the artwork is done beautifully in this comic book. We got to see a real emotional last issue with Tigra as she is talking with the Shrink in the comic book about how she has true feelings for Mark Spector, and she is saying that anybody that I think I truly love never was resurrected before, and I think she realizes that is not Mark Spector. I think that is somebody else that is fighting. That is the bad guy in this comic. Great action. I want to know who this Dark Moon Knight is. Will Mark Spector return? I'm sure he will. This is very good. This is legacy numbering 233. This is 28 pages, and this is $5. Moving on to number 5, we have Spawn issue 351. Coming off the heels of 350, the big 350, right? Where we've gotten to see the new ruler of hell, and it is a queen, and this particular ruler has created some bad things for our Spawn characters, not just for Spawn, for all the Spawn characters, all the villains out there. None of them have powers. How are they going to survive? How are we going to fight? Like, there's so many questions going on right now when it comes to Spawn. There's going to be obviously spin-off books that are coming out very soon, some more spin-off books. It's a great deal for these comics these days. You know, when you look at the price of them, it's 24 pages, and it's $3. Here we go. Coming in at number 4 already, Batman Superman World's Finest. This is issue 25. Is this a milestone issue? I mean, it says oversized 25th issue, like saying, hey man, this is a big deal. This is 40 pages, $5. I can honestly say this has probably been the most consistent comic book series for 2+ years now when it comes to the writing and the art. I wish all comics were like this, or at least as consistent. Has every issue been perfect? No, but it has been very consistently good, right? And I guess this one we're going to have a story that has to deal with like the Joker in here, and maybe some Lex Luthor, which makes sense because I don't think we've seen them in Batman Superman World's Finest as of yet. So I'm excited for that one. And yeah, this one's 40 pages, like I said, $5. So check it out. Top 3, here we go. Cobra Commander issue 3, continuing on in the Energon universe. What is the secret of Energon? Great issue last issue. Cobra Commander was in Florida. He was looking for Energon because that's where his map took him. He had this little bodyguard with him. We got to see kind of where he was created from, and we got introduced to the Dreadnoks in the last issue, and Zarana makes her appearance as well. Cobra Commander fell into a pit of alligators. And it looked like that the alligators' eyes were glowing like they were like ingesting the Energon. So I don't know what Energon does for normal alligators or whatnot, but I don't know. I thought it was kind of cool. This book is cool. Cobra Commander's cool. I love this book, man. So awesome. Joshua Williamson's done a great job. Again, 32 pages for this one and $4. All right, moving on to number 2. Love this series as well. Beneath the Trees Where Nobody Sees. This is issue 4. So this book has been interesting about this little mama bear who goes to other places to cause these murders, at least like once a week. She gets this itch. She's got to scratch it, right? She kills them. She brings them over to the town. She dissects them, buries them under the ground. Well, there's been a murder that happens in her town, and now people are snooping around. And she's trying to figure out, okay, I need to find the person who committed this murder so no more snooping could go around, because they can find the body parts that I buried in my town. So she doesn't want to get caught. So she's been doing some investigating, and she found out, well, we think she finds out who the actual killer is in this issue. What does she do with them? I don't know, man. Interesting story. Really love this one. 32 pages, $4. After number 1, I should say, we're not done, as we have to talk about those noteworthy comic books, because there's 10 comics on here that I like, but I want to talk about a few more because this could pique your curiosity and put these books on your pull list for next week. I'm like out of it this week. Like, I can't talk. So here we go. My number 1 most anticipated comic for next week goes to the Invincible Iron Man, issue 16. You guys are probably surprised by this. It's written by Jerry Duggan, the same person that writes X-Men, and I feel like he's written a better Iron Man series than he's done with an X-Men series. I feel like he's had a plot, a story to tell when it comes to Tony Stark, and he's stuck with it, and you just got to see this one character develop. And when it comes to X-Men, it just seems like, again, it's just spinning its wheels, okay? But in this comic, we've gotten to see Tony Stark down in the dumps, as low as he can go, and now, you know, he's risen up. He's created probably his best armor, or most important armor ever, in the Mark 72, where it's going to help stop Orcus and their Sentinels. And we got to see the assembly of this armor and him dragging all the other Sentinels into one place. I think it was Australia. And we got to see Emma Frost and him working together. That relationship continues to be awesome. The artwork is really good. But one of the reasons why I always fell in love with Iron Man to begin with when I was a kid was because of all those armors, right? And seeing that on the pages was awesome. And in the last issue, seeing that new Mark 72 and then go into this huge Sentinel Buster armor, man, oh man, it was badass, and I loved it. And I can't wait to see how this story like concludes, because we're getting to the end of this. Once the Fall of X is done, I'm sure this Iron Man series will be done, and then we're gonna have to get another one. So I'll enjoy this ride while it lasts. It's funny because the legacy numbering on this book is 666. It's 28 pages, and this one is $4. Okay, here we go. Noteworthy comics. Kicking it off with Marvel, we have the Fantastic Four. This is issue 18. Then we have the Resurrection of Magneto. This is issue 3. Next, we have Blade. This is issue 9. More X-Men stuff. X-Men Forever, still coming out with number 1s, issue 1. Black Panther, issue 10. We have Spider-Woman, issue 5. This will be an interesting book to see the direction now going forward. Then we have Scarlet Witch Quicksilver. This is issue 2. Moving on to DC now. We have Nightwing, issue 112. Superman, we have issue 12. The reason why this wasn't on my top 10 is just because it had to do with like kryptonite poisoning throughout Metropolis. I was like, we've seen that before. Then we have Wonder Woman issue 7. I'm showing you this cool cover because it kind of looks like Taylor Swift. You know, it's kind of funny. Wonder Woman is all right now. It's okay. Next we have Catwoman issue 63. Then we move on to Green Lantern World War Journal. This is issue, what are we on? 7 on that one. And then we move on to the indie comics. We have Scorched issue 27. Next we have The Walking Dead Deluxe. This is issue 85. Always will recommend that. And then we have Something Epic issue 8. Followed by Kill Your Darlings. This is issue 7. And then we have a new number ones here. We have Dawn Runner issue 1. This is written by Rom V. It's like a mech type of story. And then we have more Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle stuff. TMNT, The Untold Destiny of the Foot Clan, issue 1. And then we have Man's Best, issue 1. This is done by Boom Studios. So there you guys have it. There are my top 10 most anticipated and noteworthy comics for March 20th, 2024. Guys, let me know in the comments below what you're most excited for. And as always, if you want more content, I'll leave you my After the Poll video. This is where I talk about the rest of the comic books that I read for the current comic book week. And as always, guys, support the local comic shops. Keep buying, keep collecting, but always remember, read the comics, and I'll see you guys on New Comic Book Day.